Okay, hello. It is only Oracle here today with a pick a card reading. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I am so glad to have you here with me today because we are looking at your future spouse. Yes, we are. Let's get into a love reading. All right. I know future spouse readings are the most popular, and I do not disagree, ladies and gentlemen, or however you identify. I am a lover of love. You know this, we know this. And so today's question is, how can you get closer to your future spouse? So now you watch these videos and you're like, okay, I know when I'm gonna meet them. I know what the date's gonna be like, but like, how do I actually get to this person, right? I don't think we give enough attention to this because divine timing is a thing here, but I also think there are things you can do to help the process. So we have 4 piles here today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Take a second, see which image calls to you. I will add in some sound, and then you can jump to your timestamp in the description box, and I will see you at your reading. Bye. Okay, hello, pile 1. If you chicked? I don't know. If you picked the movement card, then this is going to be your reading. So, right away with this movement card, you see how she's like jumping from day to night, or it looks like from city to city. I think to get closer to your future spouse, you need to leave wherever you're at. So there's some type of move that has to happen, or I'm hearing movement in your life. So we're gonna get more cards, but I am feeling like either there's a career jump, there's like, or a move overseas or to a different state or a different city, or if you do find the person in the same city, because this is a general reading, it's like a change in your outlook or a change in how you approach things and the places you go. Something about this is like you have to do something different. That's the key. Like if you have to be in a different position, and by that I mean, for instance, say you work at a communication company and you're like low tier, you'd have to like get a raise and be at a higher tier, where then you go to a meeting somewhere and that's where you'd meet the person. So that's what I'm saying. So let's see, how can pile 1 get closer? Okay, yeah. How can pile 1 get closer? Okay. So, for a lot of you, I am feeling this is less a physical move, but for some, I am still getting there is a physical move that you would have to do to meet your future spouse, and it's more like a change in mindset. So you're on this pick a card, so you're obviously intuitive, and I have a feeling you've watched other pick a cards on your future spouse before, what they're like either, or where they're at, or things like that. And I think I'm getting the sense that it's created a narrative for you about your relationship, who you think this person is, what you think it all is. Like, it's created, in essence, walls, because each time you watch one of these videos or you start to, assign characteristics or things you know are in your future spouse, it's like you're creating a castle around you of basically who this person has to be for you to let them into your life. So if you want to think about it, it's like almost like I'm hearing like pick a card, or each time you try and almost hone in on who your future spouse is and get very specific about it, you're building blocks to trap yourself in where you wouldn't notice your future spouse because you're looking for something so specific that isn't exactly how it would go, like pick-a cards are great. I love them. I love these pick-a cards. Like I relate to people who want to know everything about their future spouse. I get it. But sometimes you have to let go of control over it. Yes, because I also see that you could potentially miss your future spouse. Like with this movement, oh my gosh, I'm just getting something else. Okay, so for some of you, you're moving so much that you actually need to slow down to find your future spouse. It's almost like you're trying to, I'm getting like a rushing energy, like you're trying to rush the story, and you can't rush the story, you know? If you're a storyteller, you ever watch a movie, when someone just tries to rush something and then two people are all of a sudden in love after one day, it's very unrealistic. For instance, Frozen. You're like trying to have an Anna and what is the guy's name? Hans or whatever, who ends up being bad. You're trying to like rush the story, but you're too intuitive for that. So Spirit is saying, like, instead of searching for a person, feeling left out, like, oh, my life doesn't start or things aren't this until I find this person. They want you to just focus on your happiness and exuding that outward. Let's see. Because we're going to get a look here at what you should avoid to get closer to your future spouse. What should they avoid? Okay, yeah. So, move these up just slightly. So with this have faith card, hold on one second here. Okay, yeah, I hear have faith that the divine will handle this. Like the divine's not, I feel like that you feel almost as if like the divine is going to leave you hanging and maybe you'll be alone forever or you're going to be single forever. But like I hear the divine say like, no, we're not going to play you like that. Like we're not going to play your crap like that. If you're putting all your happiness onto the idea of another person or of getting another person, then you're always going to feel lack until you find that person. But even if you find that person, you might not recognize it because you're so in a lack mindset that like things wouldn't be good until you met them. And so I just feel Spirit really wants you to like, okay, you have faith, you know they're out there, good. But more so focus on who do you want to be? Like, who do you want to be? Because to have the most authentic relationship, to have the most authentic being, it's like, what does your life look like? If there was no such thing as soulmates, okay? Just a hypothetical here. But if there was no such thing as soulmates, if there's no such thing as someone else completing you, you know, what would your life look like? What would you do? And I think this is a question you really need to ask yourself because it's like, what would make you happy outside of a relationship? That's what they want you to say, because have faith that the relationship will come. Yeah, I'm hearing like the relationship will come. Your spouse will come. That's not the problem. The problem is if you're putting so much onto it, essentially you're keeping yourself from happiness. Like, and I even just get, you see how she's here in this mental mindset. I feel that's kind of you. We're in this mental prison. And Spirit really wants you to jump to the lighter side of life. Like you see this dark area and she jumps to this light, like progressive area. And that's how you bring in your future spouse. That's how you do it. Not watching more pick-a-cards, not, doing spell work or just constantly saying affirmations. It's like, actually get happy. And I know that's easier said than done. I'm not sitting here just saying that's a simple task at all. But that's, I think, what Spirit, how can you get close to your future spouse? Stop worrying so much. Stop feeling so left out, like you won't be complete without someone, and just start being the radiant self. Like start being a complete person. That's what I'm hearing. Be a complete person on your own, and that is how you bring in your future spouse. So let's see how you can call them. Yeah, you see determination. Like I think they want you to have faith too, because for a chunk of you, you're very specific about this. But for another chunk of you, you're kind of like, gosh, what is this energy I'm getting? Like, I'm going to be alone forever. Like, there's just this negative mental energy you have of, like, either being too specific and having all these boundaries up, or you don't think this person exists, or you don't think they'll ever want you, or there's, like, it's this negative mindset about surrounding your future spouse, even though you want them. And this family card popped out, too. Yeah, and so I'm hearing something else is find your soul tribe. Like, find a group of people that you really enjoy being around. And, just like cultivate love around you and everything outside of a relationship. I hope that makes sense. They want you to cultivate love in all senses. And like, if you think a future spouse is gonna, complete you and make you happy, they're like, why don't you just be happy and then have the future spouse, like, almost be like a cherry on top. You know how, I think it's Cher who's like, do you think men, they ask her, like, do you think men are useful or something? And she's like, for what? You know? So it's like, that's kind of, I think, the mindset and the mentality that Spirit wants you to have to get closer to your future spouse. It's like, you know, guy or girl, gender regardless, is like, don't worry so much about them, or don't worry so much about if they exist, or if you're gonna find them, or if you'll be alone forever, or, you know, if you're not good enough. Like, just start focusing on being a complete, just complete is very essential, like complete on your own, like happy on your own, happy with, and happy on your own doesn't mean you have to just be in solitary where you're with no one. Like, you can still have, you know, friends, family. I'm hearing specifically, even though this family came up, friends, like friends you enjoy going out with, friends you enjoy talking to. The more you cultivate joy around you, the more you call that in. And I feel like if you want a high vibrational partner, then you have to be a high vibrational partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, and there's just, it's not that you're not high vibrational, because you are, but it's like you're in this negative mindset trap, either about yourself, how you view yourself, or how you view relationships, or if your future spouse is out there, or on the other end, like being so specific that your future spouse has to be this thing or it can't be anything else. And it's like you're making this storm in your life, and they want you to just like let the storm pass and just let the clear skies come out, and have faith that it'll happen when it is supposed to happen. And that, in fact, I'm hearing also that it will happen. Like, you don't have to just try so hard or do anything. You just have to focus on finding your happiness. That is where you will meet your soulmate. So, I was shuffling these, but I actually want to see what area of your life is do you and your soulmate connect? Ooh, whoa. Yeah, okay. This card fell out, Jupiter return benefit. So, if you know anything about Jupiter return, it's like the most fortuitous time for you. So your future spouse comes when you're actually just happy. So the more you focus on cultivating your own happiness, that's why I just hear it, cultivate your own happiness, finding friends or going out, like just, oh gosh, what is the message I'm getting here, Spirit? It's like just being more, I think, lighthearted. I think you're a very intense person. I just get that with this High Priestess. And you have a tendency, not that you can't be jokey or funny, because I do see jokey and funny here with the Speed card, but I think you have a tendency to get really, like, I'm almost feeling like bogged down by life issues or societal issues, or just like things that make your mindset rather somber and serious. And yeah, like that just make you feel like it's almost like you trap yourself in a prison. Like you trap yourself. I keep just getting this idea of someone like building blocks around them, and almost trapping themselves in a sadness or an area because it's either comfortable, or they feel like no one understands them, or like they don't have a place in this world. But I think Spirit is very clear that you do have this place in this world. Like you do have a place where you shine. Even with this family card, I get that you do have a soul tribe. You do have people that exist out there. And it starts with a change in mindset, because just say, for instance, you're trying to make friends. If you're constantly just like being Debbie Downer, you know, I'm not saying you can't be negative or have bad days, because everyone has bad days and doesn't feel good. But like, if you're constantly negative, then it's really hard for people to, like, people don't want to be around, negative all the time, okay? And that's not to scare you, because like obviously if you're depressed or you're going through something like that, then you want to like seek help in whatever way you can. And I'm also hearing just be honest with people. Like I'm experiencing depression, so if I'm a bit like somber or sad or whatever, then that's what's going on with me right now. Because I do get this also feeling like some of you are in like actual clinical seasonal depression or something, or you're just going through a very dark mindset time. And Spirit really wants to bring you to the light, like literally walk into the light. And, oh, okay. And a lot of you, thank you, Spirit. A lot of you, Spirit is saying you, it's your body too. So you're feeling, how do I explain this? You are feeling bad mentally because you're not physically taking care of yourself. So if you, yeah, ooh, oh, wow. Okay. I got like a crap ton of shivers. So that's really, that's a big chunk of you. You're not to say you're not depressed. Okay. Like obviously, take your therapist and your mental health advisor's advice before mine. But a lot of you you're not eating healthy. That's for sure. Yeah. You have like bad gut bacteria. You're not exercising. You're not getting enough vitamins or taking iron or getting magnesium or calcium or any, like your diet specifically, your foods you're eating and your exercise are not good. And so yes, that's going to create a mental fog for you. Like, yes, that's going to make you feel crappy. And so a lot of you, I think, do need help. And I don't mean like need help like, you know, like there's something seriously wrong with you. I mean need help like maybe you need to watch a YouTube video on having healthy meals and start implementing that. And I think Spirit is also saying it's steps. It's not an overnight thing where overnight you're going to be super healthy and feel better, but it's like, you know, it's really about taking that first step. So like tonight, maybe instead of eating takeout, or maybe you still get takeout, you decide to get a salad instead of like a chicken Philly, you know? It's taking little steps so your health starts to improve, and I think you'll see your mental state starts to improve. Like Spirit brought up the body, the first house, and this is definitely, yeah, it's definitely giving me like, I mean, the first house is Aries, but, and that's funny because Aries rules ahead, but yeah, it's, but coming up with the body, it just makes me think there is something going on with your body that makes you feel so sluggish. So sluggish. Yeah, and like blood pressure. So really think about adding in a workout too. There are tons of workouts on YouTube. There are tons of workouts literally everywhere, or joining a gym. Maybe that's your New Year's resolution, is to join a gym. I get that also with the movement speed, like changing your lifestyle. Like this is something else, changing your lifestyle, because you're already intuitive and I think you already have a sense of what needs to be changed. It's just like doing it. And what am I seeing here with this 5 of Pentacles? It's, okay, I'm sensing like a fear about changing. Yeah, okay. So also for a lot of you, your mental space may want to keep you trapped. Like, again, when we establish habits, and this is just a side note, that like when we establish habits, I think they're very ingrained in our heads, you know, and we kind of think like this is how it is because this is how it's always been. It's like if you've been depressed your whole life, you don't even know that you can be happy because you've never been happy before. And I think that's kind of this energy I'm feeling for you, is that like you don't know what it's like to feel healthy because either you've never been healthy or you haven't been healthy in a very long time. So it's almost like you think this is just, yeah, I'm just saying like this is how it is. Like this is how it is. This is just how it is. But that's really not the case. This is not how it is. Like, and I think the more you take the steps towards your health, even though maybe you think it's pointless or it won't work, just take the step, okay? Just take the salad, eat healthy for, I'm hearing a month, but even a week you might see results, but a month specifically, you'll see really good results. And notice how much, like, I just see you like getting an epiphany, like, oh my God, it was my health, you know what I mean? Or it was the foods I was eating, or it was me not exercising that was making me feel so crappy because now I feel better about myself. So yeah, that's definitely a area. So to recap here, because I know we're getting into you, but this is how can you get closer to your future spouse. And the way you can get closer to your future spouse is to start taking care of yourself and start taking care of your health, and therefore changing your mindset and becoming more positive, you know, hanging out with friends, all that good stuff will call your future spouse in a lot faster. Meditate and contemplate. Okay. Yeah. So also, I'm just getting this. For a lot of you, your future spouse may be going through the same thing right now, where like their head's kind of foggy and like they're just not like, they don't feel like they're thinking clearly. And that may also be their body, but it could be something else. But you're kind of actually mirroring your future spouse, I think. So maybe your future spouse is your twin flame, but this meditate and contemplate, I feel like you guys are actually mirroring each other right now. So the better you get, here's a really good place for you to go, because the better you get, the better your future spouse gets, okay? Because you guys are like, I'm getting with these two fish, you know, it's like you guys are connected on a string. There's like a Japanese term for like the red string of fate. And so you guys are connected. So as long as you're not taking care of yourself, it's like they're not taking care of themselves either. But if you both want to call each other in and you know, get together, it's like you both have to change your mindset to be positive. Like you both have to get to a healthy place, and that's when the divine will let this happen. So if you want to call in your soulmate, or even maybe when you're taking care of yourself, just think about it as if you were your future spouse. Like if I saw my future spouse eating this, you know, or just sitting in front of the TV and not taking care of themselves, like constantly, you know, it's not something to take a day off. So if you're already pretty healthy and you're just taking a day off, obviously that's a different thing. And this probably more applies to just a mental thing, or maybe you need some assistance there, but you know, think if I saw my future spouse just sitting on the couch 24/7, you know, like not trying to do anything, eating unhealthy, how would I feel? You know, how would I feel about them? And even just from an empathetic standpoint, like I would want them to be better, right? Because I see them as better. And I think that is what Spirit wants you to, that kind of mindset even. So if you want to use your future spouse as your motivator to get better, yeah, I'm hearing do it. Like do it. That's fine. You can totally say like, I'm doing this just so I can call in my lover. I don't even care. Like, you know, get yourself, because once you get there, it's like, it's not to say the method, I think it's the motivation source. Honestly, at this point in your life, I'm hearing it doesn't really matter. Of course, we always want to do things from a place of self-love, but sometimes we don't have any, you know, sometimes there's none of that to motivate us. Sometimes we have to motivate ourselves from almost a place of hate, or maybe a place of love for someone else to get us to do something. Sometimes ourselves is just not enough of a motivator, and I get that because I'm the same way. So, or even if it's just how you appear to other people that motivates you enough to start eating healthy because you want to look good for other people, you want to look good on your Instagram page, or you want to look good when you go out, that's fine. Like whatever motivator you need to use right now in the back of your head to get you going, use it. Don't feel ashamed about it. I feel like it will shift over to being a much healthier, it'll be a much healthier mindset once you get there. But whatever gets you going, even if it's just this idea that like, you know, if you get healthy, you can meet your future spouse, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we sitting here for? What are we waiting for? Do it. Like, do it. I've seen no problem with that whatsoever. But yeah, and as you do it, I think you'll start to, like, it's like sometimes we do things we don't understand why. It's almost like you're a baby and you're copying words, you know, you say dad, and so you're like dad, and you don't know what you're actually saying, or you don't know what you're actually doing. But as you get older, or as you get through it, you're like, oh, dada means daddy, right? And I think that's the same case where it's like you're doing this stuff to take care of yourself, and maybe you start from a wrong position, a superficial position, or a position of just trying to get to your future spouse, which is cool. But as you do it more and more, you find that like this is actually true for you. Like, oh, I'm worth doing this for. You know, not my future spouse aside, I'm worth working out. I'm worth taking care of myself. I'm worth leaving this job and getting a better one. You know, I'm worth whatever I need to do to make myself happy. I'm worth it. And once you get there, I think you are going to be in the position where they're like, okay, good. She or he, they are in a position where they're good enough. They feel good enough in their skin. And like I said, your future spouse mirrors you. So, and your future spouse will be at a point where they're good enough in your skin. And that's when you two will meet. Okay? So I hope this helped you. I hope this, maybe motivates you to get whatever area of your life. It doesn't have to be health. I think health came just through most clearly with this body, but it could just be how you get perceived by other people. Could be a mental health thing, could be a job, could be family, could be whatever. But I hope this helps, and that you start to prioritize yourself, even if just for the sake of your future spouse or for the sake of appearances. And then as that keeps going, as you go down that path, it'll be genuinely, you'll start doing it for you. So yeah, I hope that helped. If you enjoyed this reading, comment down below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, hello, lovely pile number 2. If you chose the volcano, then this is your reading. Can I just say, like, this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous card. And for some reason, I am feeling like it's indicative that you are very beautiful and you're like a phoenix rising from your ashes right now. I don't know. There's like some sort of, I'm hearing change and disruption. Like there's almost an eruption that needs to happen in your life for this to happen. And Spirit's saying it could be positive or negative, but it's like you need this spark, this spark of eruption or change. This like explosion almost in your life, which sounds really scary. It's kind of like a tower card where it's like, but you need it to bring in your future spouse. Like they're not going to come with more than likely with how things are. So to get closer to your future spouse, or to, there's like a need to, there's like a freedom here, a need to, I'm also hearing like embrace yourself fully. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause. I wanted to wash my hands. Ooh, my hands are still a little wet, but I had to wash them. I just felt like I needed to. Yeah, I feel like and because I felt the urge to wash my hands, I also feel like there's just like this cleansing of your life that needs to happen. Like something, I almost feel like your life needs to look totally different. It's funny because pile number 1, they didn't have to look totally different. It was more like it ended up being more of a change in mindset. But for yours, I feel like it almost feels like everything. But let's see. How can you get closer? I'm feeling it's this card. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a cycle that has to be finished before your future spouse comes in. So how can you get closer? How can pile 2 get closer? Oh, yes. I feel like it's going this way. Okay. So, let's get into this. To get closer to your future spouse, there is a completion of a cycle. I don't know what it is, whether it's where you live, whether it's what you're doing for a job, whether it's just a mindset, but there's like this chapter of your life that has to close out. I mean, this is the final card in the major arcana. And it's the same with this volcano. Like, it's an eruption, and then it doesn't erupt for, you know, normally thousands of years between the first eruption and the second. So there's like this major change that has to happen in your life. This like, and is it major? Okay, it doesn't have to, like, visibly be major, but it's, like, major to you, okay? So whatever this is, it's major to you. I don't know if you, like, it's a breakup or something, not to, like, jinx if you're, this is not really geared towards people who are already with their future spouse, because I don't know why you need to get closer, you're already kind of with them, but either way, it's, like, whatever, yeah, it's something surrounding you that, like, has to end. It has to end. And I don't even think it's, like, necessarily painful. It just has to end. Like, I'm just hearing something has to end for this to come in. And you have the 4 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups. Now, with these together, I feel... Oh. Okay. I'm getting that for some of you, it's, like, the end of financial, like, insecurity, financial instability is what's has to end. You will... I feel like, ow, okay, yeah. I feel like before you meet your future spouse, you're going to be well off. Like, again, I just get this card very much gives me goddess energy, you know, like someone who is just a powerhouse. So maybe you and your future spouse are a power couple, and so to get closer, it's like you have to have your own stuff in check. Like your finances need to be tight. Like you have to be a boss. I'm feeling like you need to be a boss before your future spouse comes in. So let's see what you need to. I'm gonna go with call in first. I went with avoid for the last pile, but I feel like it's what you need to call in. So what does pile 2? Okay, is this yes? Yeah. See, look at the spiritual awakening. Like this is some powerful energy, clarity. Yeah, there's like a big epiphany before you meet your future spouse. Like, and I think that's what I don't know if that's, for most of you, this is like what you're currently going through or you're going to go through very soon. It's your third eye is going to be lit. Like, I'm just like, this spiritual awakening, your third eye is going to be lit. I feel like you're going to be feeling very psychic, very powerful. Like, I just get this power energy. And I also just keep with this card, it reminds me of Moana, and you know how Te Fiti is like both Taka and Te Fiti? Like she is the empress. She's like this green, beautiful, glowing goddess, but when she gets her heart broken, it's like she becomes this this volcano. And I feel like that's your energy. And I don't know if you're currently in a volcano, so you've been through a heartbreak and it's like kind of harbored on you, or it's held onto you, it's like sticking on you, or some sort of heartbreak is sticking on you. And it's like when that chapter finally ends and like your heart is restored, that's how you call them in. So like the more aligned you are with your spirit, the more awake you are, the more expanded you are, the more clear you are on who you are, what you stand for, what your life wants to look like the more clarity you have in your life in all aspects. This is what I'm saying. I just get this boss energy. Like you have to be a boss before this person comes in. That's how you get closer to your future spouse. It's like, you know what you want. I'm getting like, I know what I want. What else am I hearing? Yeah, I know what I want and I get what I want. Whoa. Yeah, that is the energy of you before you get close to before you're going to meet your future spouse. It's like, I know what I want and I get what I want. I also hear Ariana Grande say, I want it, I got it. But like, not I want it, I got it for material things. Like, I want it, I got it, like anything. This is like manifesting master energy. Whoo! You guys are powerful. Wow. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I have power couple energy. So whoever you're calling in, they must also be very financially stable or well off or something. Yeah, like very, I'm keep getting drawn to this, the bird, which is Aquarius, very innovative. And I think that's you too. So when you own your power, yeah, with the volcanoes and power, when you own your power, that is when your future, that is how you can get closer to your future spouse. That is how your future spouse will come in. Yeah, yeah. See, I'm going to read from the book for you because I feel I didn't do it for the last pile, but I feel like for you it matters. So it says power. Old grudges should be released and let go. Heavy energy hurts us should we hold it for too long. Allow your anger to flow through you rather than saving it all up for an explosive release. Reformation may be necessary. Sometimes the greatest powers are hidden from view. You have the power to create or destroy. And see, this is what I'm getting here. It's like the end of this cycle, the end of this pain, the end of this like destroying of yourself or of other people or whatever this is. You have to like end a cycle before this new things will come in. And part of ending this cycle is you owning your power. Yeah, I'm getting so many shivers. Owning your power. That is how you can get closer to your future spouse. You have to own your power because it's like, it's insane, you guys. Like I feel so much sacral and solar plexus chakra energy right now. Like you are insane. Like I don't know who you are watching this pile too, but like you have insane amounts of energy, like insane amounts of creativity, insane amounts of just like it's scary what you could do. You could do anything. You're so, and I think that might be part of your confusion is like, I don't know if you're used to being good at things or even if you're not, you're just either used to things coming easy or just like not really being interested in regular things. And it's like when you clarify what is meant for you, like what you want to go towards, what's for you, and you start like just going towards it. And I think this is a creative field, a creative something for you because I get creativity through the freaking wazoo. You're freaking unstoppable. Like outside of your future spouse, you're freaking unstoppable. There's definitely power couple vibes. So we're going to look at what to avoid to bring in your... Okay. Yeah. And we have self-sabotage, so on the bottom of the deck. That makes so much sense to me. Yeah, because you're so powerful, I think it's... What is it, a Maya Angelou poem that says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, it's that we are powerful beyond measure. Like that, whoo, I'm getting shivers, you guys, so many shivers. That is your energy. You're like the deepest fear you have, the deepest fear that, and I don't even know if you're conscious of this, like the deepest thing about you is that you're freaking powerful. And I'm not saying this lightly. Like I'm not saying this just to fluff your ego or to make you feel good. I'm saying it because I'm feeling your energy right now and it's freaking insane. And it's like, I don't know if you're aware, like this Four of Cups, I don't know if you're aware of this. Like, I don't know if you've tapped into like your soul or your third eye and really seeing yourself clearly. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting someone who doesn't necessarily see themselves clearly. And to call in your future spouse, that's what has to happen. It's like you owning who you are, you owning you because you're freaking, I'm just gonna say freaking amazing. Like, wow. Okay, and so for what to avoid with this help from above card, I do kind of feel like the divine doesn't want you to lean on them too much for this because you have the power to make it happen on your own. Like you don't need, yeah. Am I reading that correct? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm like, I don't know. I mean, but the divine is literally saying like, you don't need us to get closer to your future spouse. Like you don't need us to almost like work on your behalf, you know? Like I think the divine works very closely with you with this volcano and spiritual awakening. Like you're very connected to it, but it's like you don't need it, you know? Like some people, it's almost like they need the extra guidance there, they need the extra help. Yeah, I'm getting like you don't need the help. You're there, like you are this boss, like you are the energy, you are psychically connect, like you have it all. I don't even know how else to describe this. It is indescribable. Like you are such a force to be reckoned with. Holy freaking crap, you're such a force to be reckoned with, and so creative when you put that out there. And maybe the end of the cycle is you hiding away, or you hiding, I'm hearing specifically behind other people. So maybe you let other people kind of like, you like dim your light so other people can shine because you're afraid of like betrayal, or you're afraid of like what it might mean if people saw your shine. But yeah, you gotta like stop hoarding. I feel like you hoard yourself, like not other people, but like you hoard your talents. And when you release those, that is how you get closer to your future spouse. So let's see what area of your life you and your future spouse will connect. at or in. Just get an idea here. Where will pile 2 and their future spouse? Okay. So you see, oh my gosh. I cannot make this. Like, look at this fire energy. I don't know if you have fire. I mean, you could have, I definitely feel you could have the fixed signs. So that's Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and, gosh, wait. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus. What am I missing? Aquarius, Leo, Taurus. What is the head again? Scorpio. Gosh, okay. Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. So you could have that in your chart, or you could even have just Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It really doesn't matter what sign you have, because I do see some water here too, so you could have Pisces. But it doesn't matter the sign, because it's just like, you're the sun. Like, you are the sun. You are the light. You are the life force. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are Te-Fiti. You are Te-Fiti. Maybe I will insert a picture here of, like, Te-Fiti if you have not seen Moana. Maybe watch that movie and pay attention, not to Moana, not to Maui, not to anyone. Pay attention to Te-Fiti, because that is, like, your powerful energy. And funny thing about Te-Fiti is, like, when she finally wakes up, she goes back to bed. Like, when she finally wakes up her true self, it's like she doesn't even have to work anymore. Everything goes back to normal when she just rests. So that might be part of your energy too, is where you don't actually have to do that much to get where you want to go. It's just like, exist authentically. I'm hearing that. Exist authentically. So, yeah, you guys connect at, and I think you and your future spouse, like I said, power couple vibes to the max. Where you and your future spouse connect is you're both, like, I think you're both suns. Like, you're both like a revolution, or like they are the moon and you are the sun. You know, it's just like this idea that you're both changers of this world. You're both revolutionary. Yeah, so I'm just going to read you some of the things for solar eclipse. Rapid change in direction or life path. So maybe you're really going to change this creative thing. Sudden rising to sudden challenges, changes in job or residence. So maybe this is actually moving. I mean, we do have the world card here. So maybe you've been planning a trip overseas, or you've been planning to move somewhere different. That would definitely help to call in your soulmate. Changes in job or residence, major adjustments in home or family. Yeah, new directions, self-mastery, working with the shadow. So even feeling lost. So like there's just this need for whatever chapter you're in to end, or if it is ending, to like start a new chapter. But really it's like ending. You have to let go of this old chapter. That's what I'm hearing, like release. There's a lot of release and letting go of whatever has been or whatever you've had, and bringing in this new. Because when you bring in this new and you just start owning who the hell you are, that's how you do it. That's how you get closer to them. Yeah, and I specifically feel like with your creative pursuits, with your intuition, I'm also getting this is not something you have to work too hard at. Can I get a clarifier here? Let me get a card here. I just get this feeling that it's not, like, a volcano doesn't have to force itself to erupt. You know what I'm saying? It just does. Like, something about this is very natural to me. It's not something you have to, like, okay, I have to have, like, a 10-year plan, you know? No, you don't have to have a 10-year plan or anything, or like I have to do all these things to blah 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 blah. Like, no, there's not that, like, just small things, but it's nothing major. Yeah, okay, your hard work is paying off came in reverse, but prosperity lies ahead. You see, you have once again Taurus energy and Capricorn. Yeah, and see, this came in reverse, and I was like, why? Does that mean the hard work isn't paying off? And Spirit's like, no, the point is, why we put that is you don't have to work that hard. Like, that's the point. I'm so baffled by your energy, guys. Like, I feel your energy so intensely. It's, I don't even know how to tell you. Like, I've never had a reading where I felt so, like, blown away. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, if there was a word for you, you would be like the gust of wind in, like, a still room. It's insane. It's like, whoa, what just happened? Or you know how, like, I'm weirdly seeing Pocahontas where she's like, I can paint with the colors of the wind. They, like, circle around you. Like, that is the energy I'm feeling right now with you guys. So once again, you don't have to work that hard for this new part, like, this new thing to happen. Let's see what you, yep, okay. Let's see what you do need to do. I think you do need to just be clear about what you want. Like, that's something, Spirit's like, if you're constantly indecisive or going back and forth, it's not going to help. Okay, and the throat chakra. Yeah, you just have to speak. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. Look at this. That is so crazy. You've got both of the throat chakras. This energy is so insane to me. I'm like so baffled. I know this is about your future spouse, but this is how you can get closer. Like, you're such a freaking powerhouse. Yeah, your throat chakra is insane. So whatever you create or do, I don't know if you sing, I don't know if you, I mean, I hear you even dance, but like the way it's communication, that's what the throat chakra is. It's communication, because we speak and that's how we communicate with each other. It's even through like your looks, but it's like, it's being aligned to your soul's purpose and your life purpose. Creative, finding your voice, expressing yourself, like expressing your truth. That's what I'm hearing. And like you get all these messages from the divine. It's just like clearing it. Like, oh my gosh. Let me relax for a second, because your energy is just like, wow, 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 wow. Wow. I'm just gonna move this all over. So yeah, you and your future spouse, hardcore power couple. But you by yourself, goddess or god, you know, like that energy, you're just so powerful. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's in everything. And I don't know how you view yourself. And I have a feeling with this like wreath surrounding you and all these like these fixed signs, it's almost, I feel like you don't believe that, or you don't see that about yourself. You're just like, you're trapped in this like this thing of thinking that isn't really true about you. It's like you don't see your fire, you don't see your divine light, which is insane, because it's like so strong. It is so strong. And this is, the more you are, I'm hearing yourself, you know, the more you're yourself, the more you're just, you're truthful, you're honest, you're 100% you at every point, at every turn. That's how you view your future spouse, because like I had in the last power, you may kind of mirror each other. If you're twin flames and your future spouse is your twin flame, you may kind of mirror each other. So the more you're you, the more they can be them. You know what I mean? Because you constantly mirror each other. That's why sometimes people hear future spouse readings, and you know, maybe you've seen like, who's my future spouse, and you think they're describing you. No, they're maybe not describing you, but you may be twin flame. So that's why you're seeing so strongly that your energies are like the same. So yeah, you really just need to speak your truth, own your truth. And I keep feeling like putting whatever creative stuff you do out there, because it's so good. Like I'm just hearing someone be like, this is so good, you know, like this is so good. Yeah, like I don't, there's not, I just want to make sure, because I'm like, is there any, like, what do you even need to do? I don't even know what you need to do, because it's just like, the more you're just, I think confident is the word. The more you're confident about your choices, about what you choose to do, about your intuition, about your truth, the more confident you are in all of those things, the more you own yourself, the easier like that is that you call them in. Yeah. Anything else for pile number 2? Okay. And I'm gonna do one more. Anything else for pile number 2, Spirit? Okay. I said no. And the Tower, yeah. Yeah, I feel this resistance to the idea that you are this powerful. Like, I feel this resistance against your own power. It's like you fight yourself on it. It's like because I'm drawn to this listening card too, where it's like swirled around. It's like you don't hear it properly. You're like, no, you like transfer it around in your head, so it's not true. Like, I just get the idea of someone who's made themselves small for a very long time, and that's all right. I could totally relate to that. Like, you're not alone in that. But you're so powerful. Like, you're so powerful. Stop. Like, I hear even the divine saying, like, why? Like, with this help from above. It's funny because you had help from above as what to avoid. Like, what to avoid. Because they're like, why? Like, why do you need us? Why do you need to make yourself small? What is your, you know, what is your fear? Like, what do you think? You're so... You're protected, one, with this wreath. I think you're protected. You're very well protected. But also you're just so powerful. It's like what do you need us to do? Just do it. Like, you already, you know, I just hear your team being like, you can do this. Like, why are you asking us to do this? You can do it. Like, you don't need us right now. Like, you know, I think your spiritual team, you may kind of feel alone a lot, or like they're not really like supporting you, or they're not guiding you, or something like that, where they're just not there. But it's like they're totally there. They're constantly offering you things. It's like you just don't see it. You're just constantly turning away from yourself. And that's something else. Like, she has her eyes closed. She's looking to the side. His eyes are closed. Like, you're constantly not, that's part of it. You're not being truthful with yourself about yourself. And yeah, I think that's because of other people, honestly. Like, with this 10 of Swords energy, I just feel like it's because of other people. But the more that you own yourself and you call in your future spouse. It's point blank. The more you speak your truth and you put your stuff out there, your creative stuff, because you're so creative, the closer you get there. And the more you stop basically giving yourself tower moments. That's what I feel like, giving yourself internal dilemmas, like making yourself feel small or tearing yourself apart, then that's how you bring your future spouse. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, beautiful pile number 2. If you did, if it resonated, please comment down below, okay? And, wow, I can't wait to see what you do. If you do have a creative business, feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love to support other small businesses or people who are growing. So, yeah, please put in the comments if you are doing something creative or working on it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay. Hello, beautiful pile number 3. So if you chose this card, Purity, the Ice card, then this is your reading. Automatically, I feel like you need to, I know this is counterintuitive, but it's like you need rest. That's how I hear, like, rest and to almost like hibernate. It is winter right now, so that may be part of it, but they kind of, to bring in your future spouse, it's kind of like you need to, yeah, like, go underground, rest. I just keep getting rest or hibernate, like, almost like you're a polar bear or something. You need to, and it's weird because, like, it's like your future, I already feel, for this pile, I haven't felt this for the other piles, but for this pile, I do feel like your future spouse is looking for you. It's this white horse. Like, your future spouse is looking for you, and, it's almost like you're hiding. So, maybe the answer is to get out. Let's see. I did get the energy of, like, you need to just go in, but maybe you need to go out. But it's like your future spouse is already looking for you. So how can pile 3 get closer to their... Okay. How can pile 3... That was weird. Okay. That's this one. And just one more, yep. Okay. So, you are interesting, pile 3. I get the idea of an ice princess or ice prince, like those, when you say someone's like an ice princess or an ice prince, you mean like they're like cold, they're cold. They're not very warm. And if that does not sound like you, then this is so weird. Then I'm hearing that's who you need to be. Oh. I get it. Okay. Am I Okay. So this is so weird for you. This is such an odd way to bring in your future spouse, but hey, I'm getting the message, so I'm just gonna relay it. I think you are a very generous person, okay? I think you might be a people pleaser. You're a person who can't say no. It's weird because I get the split energy, so I'm gonna, like, explain the one side I'm seeing. If that doesn't sound like you, then wait for a second, because I'll explain the other side, okay? Because I am getting this view, but I was like, Spirit, is that like everyone? And they're like, no, the other half of people, it's something different. So, weird. I sometimes get 2 messages in a reading, and it's like doing 2 separate readings for 1 card, but we're gonna do it. So, some of you are super giving, okay? So if this applies to you, listen to this part. If not, just kind of like, I don't know, go get yourself some apples or something until I say, okay, it's the other group. Anyway, so for some of you, you're super giving, you're super kind, you're super nurturing, and that actually doesn't sit that well with you. It's like, people like you, but they like you for what you can do for them. Like, they like you for your kindness and your affectionateness, but it's like, I get like Cinderella energy here, which I did get with the ice card. Like, you're Cinderella, and you're just like, sure, I'll clean the fireplace, mother, and it's like, dude, she's treating you like crap, like, get out of there. And so the message for those of you who are very giving, and you know who you are, you know if you're a people pleaser, come on. Like, it's very rare that people pleasers don't know they people please. It's like they just don't know how to stop. That's the problem. Spirit is saying that to get closer to your soulmate, it's like when you stand up for yourself. Like, Cinderella gets to the ball with the help of a fairy godmother, yeah, but when she like stand up for herself. Like you have to stand up for yourself. And that's how she gets to the prince, you know, who's coming for her. She stands up for herself, and that is what they're asking you to do. Like stand up for your boundaries, respect your boundaries. Don't just do things for other people, and don't worry about how they're going to perceive you. Okay, like they want you to become more of the ice prince, ice princess. You know, they want you to be icier towards people, because it's like then you only let in the genuine people. For the other part of you, and this feels like a very smaller part, and maybe you don't like to acknowledge this, but you are already kind of an ice princess. You're already kind of like closed off to people. You don't really let people in. It's not necessarily that you're judgmental, but like you already have your boundary set, and you kind of like, you already do hibernate, you know what I'm saying? Like you're already in that like I don't deal with other people energy. And you are still very coveted, I'm hearing that. But yeah, Spirit wants you to be more giving of your time. So it's like, for half of you, you're already so giving, you need to be less giving. And for the other, not half even, I feel like majority of you are more on this side where you're the giving person. But for the other, like, small minority of you who are like, I am not, like, not that I'm not giving, but just that I have my boundaries and I don't, like, I'm an ice princess, yes. Like, do I have resting bitch face? Yes. Do I care? No. So for those of you who are like that, it's like invoking more innocence in how you view people, because I think you do have strong judgments because of being played or, like, previous experiences with crappy people. That's what I'm hearing, like previous experiences with crappy people, or a person, could be one person that you're like very, I'm hearing the Ariana Grande line from her song, like real protective of my soul where you've been, like I'm very protective of me. And so to call in your soulmate for that minority, they want you to be more like giving, like don't be so quick to jump the gun and judge people just because of your previous experiences. Okay, so again, I gave two different scenarios. They're on extremes, but I think you know what extreme you're on watching this. It's not even like they're that extreme. It's just that one person is already very protective of themselves, again, an ice princess, and the other person, you know, watching this, you may be just very giving, and you need to be more of an ice princess. So it's almost like a switcheroo of energy. Either way, for either case, I do feel like your future soulmate is looking for you. Like, they're looking for you. They're actively looking for you. I just keep getting drawn to that horse. So... and it's like they can't get to you. And so in the case of you're too giving, they can't get to you because you're like constantly doing things for other people, and it's like you're almost like a slave. And for people who are not that giving and are just like all about, you know, not that you're all about you, but you're like all about your boundaries and keeping people at arm's length, they can't get to you because you're always keeping people at arm's length. So in either case, it's your future spouse is definitely looking for you. So this is what to avoid. Yep. Yeah, I keep telling, I told you, your soulmate, your future spouse, they are looking for you. They're trying to find you. And, yeah. I get this energy for those of you that are identify more with the high boundaries, is that like you're not, you won't actually let them embrace you, you know? And even if you're the really nice person, I still get this energy of you not letting people embrace you, like not letting them get close to you. Even if you're a people pleaser, it's like you people please distantly. Does that make sense? So you people please and you'll like do things for other people, but you're still not letting people, I hear specifically like touch you. It's this weird energy where you don't let people, I don't know if you're you could be a virgin, you don't have to be, but it's like you don't let people touch you. I just keep getting this like maybe you don't like to be physically touched by other people, but you avoid like you avoid actual intimacy on both ends in different ways. It's so funny, in different ways, by like just doing what other people want and like people pleasing, but on the other end by just having boundaries and not letting anyone close to you. But you avoid actually connecting and getting close with people, and that is like your soulmate is not actually able to embrace you because you're not open to it in a lot of ways. Like you're open to it. I mean, you're on this pickacard, so you're open to it to an extent, maybe mentally or maybe in a fantasy realm, but in physicality, in the real life, you're not. Yeah, I just get the energy of someone being very pure in a certain way, but it's not open to that soulmate. So, so to come and call in your soulmate, you have to be more open to your soulmate, and I think specifically to the idea of intimacy. And also that may be that some of you, I'm just getting this, are like aces, asexual, or you're pansexual or something. So obviously if you are asexual or something, that doesn't mean like you have to have sex or sleep with someone. I just think it means like being open to the idea of intimacy. And in the case that you're like demisexual and it just takes an emotional bond, be open to bonding with someone. There's just like this need to, because you're pure and that's good and they want you to stay pure, but it's like you're what's blocking your soulmate, if I'm being honest here. So how do they call in their soulmate? I feel like it's this one. Okay, so you guys already talk on the 5D, on the reel. And how are they? No, not yet. Okay. Anything else? Hang on. And that one. Okay. Okay. So I did hear honesty. So I think you need to be more honest with people about where you've been or what you are. So in the case of, I'll just use the ace one as an example. If you are an ace, it's like, I don't know, maybe you've stopped sharing that with people because it kind of scares them off if they are only interested in you sexually and you're on the people-pleasing end, or maybe you just don't even think people will accept that. But it's like being more honest about who you are and what you want, and not, again, not people-pleasing, or not just isolating yourself from people. If on the other end of the ice princess, like not isolating yourself or not giving too much just because you don't want to communicate the truth of the matter for you, whatever that truth is for you personally, because I feel like it has to do with something internal. Yes, for sure, this is all like internal stuff, which could be based on external experiences you have, but like it's internal that you're holding on to this stuff and it blocks your soulmate. And to call in Mother Earth, I think yeah, there's like this need to nurture you. I think that's through and through. For both, if you're an ice princess or you're a people pleaser, you need to start nurturing yourself. Like start loving yourself in the way you would want to be loved by someone else. I just get someone who doesn't. That's the main thing here. That is what I should have said in the beginning. In either case, you know, no matter how you identify as a person, I feel the sense of someone who doesn't have a lot of compassion for themselves. They don't like. Yeah, you're just not, you're like, even the way you speak to yourself, like, you're not very kind to yourself. You may be kind to other people, or you may kind of, like, skirt other people, but you're not kind to yourself. You don't, even if you kind of put on the front, like, oh, you know, I'm the SHIT, like, I'm that girl, you could never, it's like, underneath that, you're still very sensitive. Like, I just get this sensitive, uncompassionate side of you underneath that you don't let out. Yeah. To call in your soulmate, again, they already are looking for you. It's very clear here. Like, your soulmate is absolutely, absolutely looking for you. I feel their energy coming in. Like, yeah, I'm looking for him, her, they, you know, them. I'm looking for them. But and I think you guys do talk on the 5D. I get that, but it's like they can't actually access you because you're not being accessible. You know, you're not being accessible because of whatever your reason is. Mostly, I think, because you lack compassion and care for yourself. So, to call in your soulmate, start taking care of yourself. And I don't just mean physically. I feel like for Mother Earth, it's more like how you treat yourself, you know? How do you treat yourself? Really look at that. Do you give yourself rest days if you need them? Do you speak to yourself in a kind manner? Do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am beautiful, you know? Do you eat a healthy meal because you think, you know, I deserve to feel good in my body? It's just like all of these ways that you don't take care of yourself. Do you, even in the case of people pleasing, like, do you put someone else's needs ahead of your own? That's not taking care of yourself. That's not nurturing yourself. And so to call in your soulmate, there is a need for you to take better care of yourself, to take care of yourself. And that is just something, regardless of what end you identify as, that you just don't, you don't do. You're constantly, I just feel this constant harsh energy with yourself. Even if you're giving, I'm not giving enough, or I'm giving too much, or if you're not, and you're kind of ice princess, you're like, oh, I don't give people access to me, I should, you know, or it's just all these constant judgments that I think you place on yourself. You don't even place them as much on other people, although people may have hurt you and you may kind of feel some type of way about people, but your harshest, it's like you're your harshest critic. And that is like pushing your soulmate away. Yeah. That is pushing your soulmate away. So to call in your soulmate, you need to be more compassionate to yourself. Let's see what area of your life you guys connect. What area, what area does pile number 3 connect their soulmate? Okay, we have 2, which I feel like symbolizes the 2 sides of this coin. Okay, so I do get you connect in like school or something. So maybe you're younger through like learning. You do connect intellectually first, because I think no matter what side you're on, yeah, I'm hearing you are an intellectual, which is probably part of why you're so harsh on yourself. Is because like you don't. Oh my gosh, it's something else. You don't really tap into your intuition as much or your feelings. You operate from a more either practical basis or a logical standpoint. It's like there's not a lot of trusting your feelings and intuition and things like that. So maybe you even already know this person. This is just for some of you, but maybe you even already know this person, but you've rejected them, or you are rejecting them because you just don't, like, I don't know, you don't find yourself worthy in some way, or you just, even if you find yourself worthy, you don't think you're ready or something. Like, there's just this rejection of compassion. So the area of life you connect in, though, is that you both are intellectual, so that is something that will help like indicate who your future spouse is for you. And yeah, I just feel like you connect when, what am I feeling here? What is this energy, Spirit? Oh, okay, so you connect through the way you communicate to the world. I have no idea what that means, but that's what Spirit said. And I feel like that for some of you is like, I get kind of like an artist vibe. Like maybe you're an artist. This is just an example because I don't think that's all of you. Some of you may be academic or whatever, but you both, are artists, and you both work on art, and you both put messages into your art or deep thought into your art. And that's how you connect, because you both almost like have the same messages. Again, you're very connected. You're very psychically connected on the 5D with your partner. You guys are already talking, you're meeting, you're chilling. Like you're very together. You're very together already. Just not maybe in the 3D, but you're rejecting them. Or there's just like this energy of there's just too harsh of judgment. There's just too harsh of judgment going on towards, I think, mostly yourself. That is like blocking this connection or this thing. But likewise, just because it's 3rd house messages, say you're like an archaeologist and you like digging and looking at bones and examining bones, like they would also enjoy that. I think you guys like a lot of the same things. Yeah, okay, they're saying, yeah, they let you like a lot of the same things. So certain like hobbies or things you guys have in common, and that's the area of your life you connect in. Yeah, just constantly expanding your mind. You're both intelligent. Like I just get a very intellectual energy from this. And I feel like that's where you both connect. It's kind of funny because I feel like, I know this is how you can get close to your future spouse. I feel like the first time you meet, you almost like psychically connect, and you're talking, and you vibe really well. You're just like, it like this, like, when they have the lightning sparks between you, like, yeah, like we're the same brain right now, or you make the same stupid joke, or there's like something that once you actually meet and talk, and I think that's in particular, like you'd have to speak to each other. Once you actually speak to each other in the 3D, you would already have like, I'm seeing, yeah, instant, like there's an instant connection. There's not like much of a, even if you pull away because of your own reasons, there's an instant connection, which is kind of like Cinderella, because she sees him at the ball and they like start dancing right away, and they feel super connected, obviously, because he goes searching for her in the whole kingdom with a freaking glass slipper, and you don't do that unless you feel connected to someone. So yeah, there's a definite connection here, but you just need to be less harsh with yourself. Yeah, less harsh with yourself, more nurturing, more trusting your intuition. Yeah, see, balance spirituality and practicality. Like, balance this logical, this intellectual, this naysayer part of you, this people-pleasing, whatever part of you is almost like doubting or nagging. There's just some, I can't even like place a finger on this because I feel like it is so broad and particular to you, but it's like there's almost like a gray cloud in how you view yourself, or how you view yourself. It's like this gray, this judgment you put towards yourself. Yeah, even those who like, I mean, feeling even if you come off confident to other people, or you're like, I feel like I'm the shit. Like, I'm not even relating to this right now, only Oracle. I feel like you're not, but you kind of do. Like, you just, because you have these days where you just don't, you think you're terrible, or you think you're, and like everybody has days like that, but I feel like for you, it affects how you live your life, and that's the problem. So, Spirit does want you to balance more of that, balance more of your giving and taking. Yeah, balance more of your giving and taking, balance more of your this logical mind you have, this very practical giving with more of like an intuitive. And it's weird because they want you to be more grounded, though. They want you to be more connected with Mother Earth. So yeah, I don't know, I just see nature walks, or just really connecting with the way you're a part of this world, and like you're a part of the group. You're not just, that's what it is. It's almost like this is like a, you're like a what is the word I'm looking for? You're like ostracized. You're like an outcast. And I think that's why you either people please to fit in, or like you just kind of stay to yourself. Whatever this energy is, it's like you're an outcast. That's the word I'm looking for. And Spirit says that like to call in your soulmate, you have to know that like you're not an outcast. You're a part of this world. Like you're a part of this world. You're a part of this world. Your thoughts matter. Your things matter. Like you're not, stop judging yourself so harshly. Yeah, your thoughts matter. Your emotions matter. How you feel about yourself matters. Your intuition matters. Like you matter. And I think that's something that you don't really truly believe in your heart, and that is why it is delayed you meeting your soulmate. So yeah, that is all I have for you. I hope this helped, and if it resonated, comment down below. I hope you can be kinder to yourself, please, pile number 3, no matter what side of this coin you were falling on. I do definitely feel this like need to be kind and nurturing to the self, to the body, to you. And I hope you know that your future spouse, for you in particular, your future spouse is looking for you. They are dying to find you. I'm just feeling this desperate energy of they are kind of getting tired of waiting, but you take your time and you just make sure that you start taking care of yourself, and I think you'll see that you're getting closer. All right, so that is all I have for you. I will see you in the next one. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye. Okay, hello, Pile 4. If you chose this card, the Comfort Hearth card, then this is your reading. So, right away, oh boy, there's something about family here that's so important for you getting closer to your future spouse. I don't know if you meet through family or you meet through like a baby or dogs or animal, but something about comfort and home. Like home is very important for you to get closer to your future spouse. So let's see a little more. I do feel like maybe you meet them through a like family gathering. Like it feels like a gathering energy where there's some sort of a party, a Christmas party or something, and that's how you meet them, is by like, it's through your family. Even if they're not, obviously they're not related to you, but yeah. Specifically, I hear distant family, so this may be family relations that you don't talk to very much, or maybe they're overseas, or they're somewhere that's like kind of not near you, or I'm even getting like your second cousin's family or something like that, but it's like, I feel like you guys, how you get closer to your future spouse is through, like, I just keep getting this idea of your family. And I even feel that energy, even if you don't like or talk to your family, you still meet this person through some aspect of your family. Yeah. And 1 second here, I feel like these two. Whoa. So yeah, some of you may not really be near your family. Take it as it resonates, because I obviously can't tell who's living with their parents or at home with their family and who lives on their own. But if you've been living on your own for a while, this person may be back in your hometown. Yeah. The family is coming through so strongly. Like to get closer to your future spouse, you would have to get closer to your family. So I don't know, like, this is maybe a sibling who works a job in a different state or a different country, and they know someone, or it's like your cousin who lives in, you know, Copenhagen, and he has a cousin or a friend, or he works with someone, and that's who your future spouse is. But this energy does come through that it is connected to your family. Like that is how you get closer to them, is by getting closer to your family. And Spirit wants to stress that, yeah, and this feels like biological. Strangely enough, a lot of times I feel your family is like your soul family or your friendships, but for you it could be very close friendships, but it has to do with like people you knew in childhood, or more specifically I am hearing bloodline, so your biological family by some measure. And this could be family you don't talk to that often. This could be like maybe you're adopted and it's like your actual bloodline, or it could be like your father's side, you only talk to your mother's side, or there is this aspect of family coming in, and that's how you get close to them. Like the more you know your family, the more you like go to certain events and things. I feel like specifically this person is there. And I'm also getting a wedding. So this could be a wedding of a close family friend or something, and that's how you meet this person. So there's a big aspect of this of being, I just feel unplanned, where you're not going to be able to plan your meeting with this person or getting closer to them. It's just you do. Does that make sense? Or likewise, if you already know who this person is, it's like by reconnecting with your family or reconnecting with them, that's how you get closer. Or with your, with your, what is it? Like your associates, like your like linked associates, people that you both know. That's how you get closer to them. So yeah, because I just feel like you're in a better place you're in a better place to deal with, I guess I would say like family drama, or like you're just in a very good place where I feel like you could handle certain functions. And this doesn't mean like you have to go to every family event, or you have to do all of that, but it's like you can balance it enough where I feel like you don't have to just isolate yourself from your family anymore. You can actually add them back in slowly. Yeah, I also feel like your family, or this area of like family, they're not, I'm hearing they're not in a mood to fight. So like if you haven't talked to your family in a while, maybe think about talking to them, because I just get the energy of they shouldn't really be in a mood to fight. Or if they are, like if they do say something to upset you, they're not trying to upset you. That's the point, is they're not trying to anger you, or like I get a very calm energy surrounding your family right now, which is really, really nice actually. And if you do live at home, then this is definitely talking about and feeling different, like different parts of your family that maybe you don't talk to so much. And I do get this idea of them being overseas, or at like a great distance, like an ocean away from you is a big idea here. But yeah, I think a lot of you have been in this pile. It just feels like a lot of you have been focusing on your career, on developing yourself, on traveling. Maybe you've been on trips for a while, or you've been living by yourself and really just going your own path. And to actually bring in your soulmate, to bring in your future spouse, Spirit wants you to reconnect with your family. And actually it's just a really good time to do so in your life, I think. So what are we trying to avoid? What can they avoid to get closer to their future spouse? Yeah, I'm not saying whether or not you already know your future spouse, but I am seeing that they're connected to your family. I don't know if they, like I said, I just keep getting like maybe your brother or your sister or someone or your cousin works with them or knows them, or they're a friend of a friend. There's like something here where they're nearby to your heart, like to the comforts of like, or the familiarity of childhood. Like even if your childhood wasn't good or pleasant, or it was just uncomfortable for you, it's like they're around that area though. They're around it. I don't know why. And potentially a new birth. So like if you're with this baby, I just feel like it's a niece or a nephew or something like that. Like if there are any baby announcements, yeah, Spirit's like if there are any baby announcements where there's like a party for someone to celebrate their coming kid, think about going, because your future spouse may be there. It's so interesting that this pile is so specific. Like they're actually giving you a meeting time. So I don't know if your future spouse is specifically very close. But would this avoid like healing? Yeah, I think this is talking about like issues you may have had with your families, or issues like I just get this feeling someone who's left their family. And if you haven't left your family or with them, it's like emotionally you're very withdrawn from them, and they want you to reconnect. Like this is just a really good time to repair your family bonds. And I am hearing with your biological family. Yeah, with like what runs in your blood. And again, that if you were adopted, and if it's not your blood, it's like people from your childhood. Like, you know how you have your childhood best friend, someone like that would be like an example of the home of like your familiarity from when you were little, that would bring you closer to your future spouse. So they really want you to actually reconnect with people from your old life. And I do feel like they're warning that they don't mean just like let back in the toxic people from your childhood, but like the people who were decent, but maybe you just drifted away from because, you know, you went to go travel or you went to go figure out your own stuff or you were healing. If you've drifted away from people, Spirit really wants you to bring back connecting to people who make you like, who are familiar and comfortable. And I think for specifically, they've made you happy in the past. Like they haven't, these are, I don't feel like these are people who have done anything to hurt you, especially intentionally. Like if they hurt you, it was an unintentional kind of thing. And Spirit wants you to connect with them. Yeah, like, see this universal light coming out. It's like honoring, they want you to honor the light in them and in you. And I think you've pulled away from a lot of people to heal. Like that's very clear here. Like you really, I get this energy of someone who's really gone their own way. They really, yeah, maybe you wanted to focus on creative pursuits, or you were traveling, or you went away to school, or, you know, you're just older, you're in your 30s or 40s and you moved away, but actually your future spouse is near the people that you knew a long time ago. Yeah, there's just this weird reconnecting vibe. And this, again, doesn't have to be an ex or necessarily someone you've met, but they're just around your, like, I feel like they're around your family. They know someone in your family already. Like, they know someone who is related to you by blood or, you know, adoption, or was a childhood friend or in your childhood. Like, they know someone from when you were young. They just, you guys just either haven't met or you just didn't connect, and you're reconnecting because you're older. Because I just do feel this distance between you and this childhood like safety. Interesting. So let me, actually I do want to do these cards first. Let's just get an energy for what else is going on here. Yeah, I do feel like you've been walking this solo path. Even if you're with your family and living at home, you just haven't really, you've been focused on your own thing, and that is totally fine. I don't think anything you've been doing is wrong. You've been doing everything fine. It's just I just see someone who's kind of receded into themselves and what they want. And Spirit's not like saying that's wrong or there's anything wrong with you doing that. But Spirit is more saying, if you're looking to get closer to future spouse, get closer to the people from your childhood who made you happy or who filled up your cup. And I do feel like you might have had some petty fights with people from your childhood, but they weren't, like, I'm hearing still love. Like, there's still love. The basis of it wasn't because they hated you or because they wanted to really necessarily, like, tear you down. It's just, you know, when you're growing up, you say a lot of stupid things because you don't know what you mean and you don't know that your words hurt people. And it takes growing up for you to realize that. Yeah, I think there are a lot of emotions that you have tied to your family, positive or negative. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was getting the message. I think you have a lot of emotions that are tied to your childhood and what you experienced, and you really, I think, put up boundaries. I just keep getting this, or you stepped away from your family because they, or the people from your past and childhood, I think people from your past is another thing, because they weren't, I just feel like they weren't at your level. Even if they weren't necessarily bad, or some of them could have been bad and toxic, not gonna lie, but it feels like a lot of them, they just weren't meeting you where you were at. I'm hearing that, like, you're not meeting me halfway. You're not meeting me where I'm at in life. And so you kind of just went to go rise on your own and heal on your own and do your own thing. And that is completely good. That's awesome. But I think if you want to get closer to your future spouse specifically, you want to reconnect with that. And I think there's a lot of emotional charge. Like, there's just an emotional, this is like childhood wounds that you would be bringing back up. And it's not even because they're still actively necessarily haunting you, but it's just that it's almost like if you go back to your family or you go back to your past, you feel like you'll become that person again. Yeah, I get that feeling of like you've grown so much, or this King of Cups, you're emotionally mature now, you can handle situations, and it's kind of like the idea of going back to family may feel like you are becoming that small little boy or girl again, you know, that helpless person or that person who got made fun of or whatever it is. And so it's kind of like emotionally linked to you, but I'm hearing you're much more stable than you think. You're much more beyond it than you think. And as long as you, with this universal light, like what to call in, what to look at, it's like just honor yourself, honor how much you've grown, you know? You don't need to be afraid about slipping into, I guess, old habits, because you've overridden them with new habits, and you only regress if, I guess, you really kind of like want to regress, you know? You are able to, at this point with this universal light, like you're so past that. I think you understand more of the connectedness of the world, and maybe this was because you were traveling or something, but again, you don't have to have been. It's just the energy of you having been emotionally distant from the people of your past or your childhood or your family, and kind of now that is the time, if you were looking to get closer to your future spouse, that you should think about reconnecting with them. And with this nothing will come of this situation, it kind of scared me at first. I was like, what does that mean? But I think this is Spirit's way of saying, like, nothing, it shouldn't, this is not, I just keep feeling this is not a bad time for you to reconnect. Like, this is not a time where they're going to, like, there's going to be a lot of petty drama and fights. I just feel like it's all love. Like, I could just keep still love, all love. Like, it's all love. There's no, not that there's not still things there or anything, but just that nothing, it's not going to get so emotionally charged that you feel like you're broken down. Let's see. Anything else there? Anything else there? Okay, I'm just gonna get like one and the other, like that one. Yeah, there's this sense of helplessness I think you feel when it comes to the idea of going back to family or going back to your past because you left it behind. Maybe you were like a chubby kid, or I don't know, there's something there. You left it behind, and it's like going back to that would be it feels like putting yourself back in that situation, but you're not that person anymore. Like, that person is you, and you're still that person in a way, but that's not who you are. That's not how you present anymore. I think something else they're stressing here is it seems like with this holiday card, I just keep getting this as like a visit. Like, this isn't, you meeting your future spouse is not you necessarily moving back home, or you know, living now with your childhood best friend or something. It's more so just bridging. I just hear that, like, bridging that gap again, because, there's just a maturity, I think, on both sides. That's just time. I'm just hearing it's time. It's time that we, you know, bury the hatchets and just move on. And if you are close with your family and you talk to them often, I still feel like this is a different part of your family that you don't talk to that much. I mean, there are always, not even because something negative happened, but there are always parts of our family that we don't talk to, you know what I mean? Because if you start extending your family so far, it's like, it gets impossible, you know what I mean? Because you have your cousin, and then your cousin has a kid, and that's technically your second cousin. So, like, at some point, you're just not as close with certain people. But I think Spirit wants you to kind of, seek them out. I'm hearing, but also, like, seek reconciliation, because you've just kind of gotten distant, and it's nothing, and nothing about this feels forced. Like, okay, you want to get closer to your future spouse, so you have to go to your family, you know, meeting, or you have to go see your cousin. It's like, nothing about this is forced. It's just like, naturally, if you've been thinking about your cousin or your uncle or your aunt, or you've been thinking about someone in your family, and they've just kind of, I feel like this is someone who's come to mind, or a family, part of your family that's been coming to your mind. If they've come to your mind, reach out to them. You know, I just think Spirit's like, don't overthink it or overstress it. Just reach out to them, see how they're doing. Maybe they're pregnant now, maybe they are moving. You know, I just feel like everyone is at such a different point in their life, especially your family, that there's not really a lot that would, like, I just don't get the energy of people arguing or being super petty or trying to fight. And I definitely don't feel like Spirit is saying this is, you should call back in the family that, like, tried to knife you, you know? They're just saying the family that you may have just drifted apart from, or you stepped away from for your own personal reasons. Okay, so these are the areas, oops, I was far away. These are the areas that you connect in. Yeah. I think you stepping away from your childhood, your past, you really glowed up. I was getting that before. Like, you're much more attractive. You're much more emotionally stable. Like, you're not the person you used to be, or the person that people would identify you as in childhood. Okay, there may still be parts there, but I think you present, I'm hearing specifically, you present differently. So maybe you used to always wear the same old ready t-shirts every day, and there's no problem with that, but now you present and you're like in suit and tie. Or if you were a girl, maybe you never got your hair done and you just like wore messy stuff, but now you get your hair done and you get your nails done. It's nothing, it's like there's some sort of self-care that you've done and you've accomplished, that if you were to see people again, I feel that like they would recognize you, really like, damn, like, you look good. Like, you look good. Wow. You really, you really taking care of yourself, or you really put on a lot of muscle, or you really, lost a lot of weight or something. So there's something about you that is much more attractive now, that I think whoever your future spouse is attracted to you when they meet you. So, and yeah, and I think also, if you haven't gone through a physical change or a big change from when you were little, or like, I mean, when I say little, I mean anywhere from 0 to 18. So if you're like 23, I still think you might look different than you did at 18. Maybe you do your hair differently. Maybe you, I don't know, you've worked out now, but it's like anywhere between 0 and 18. So like but it could even be college for some of you who are very much older, but it's like those young years where you were. And I think you and your future spouse will connect because, yeah, your minds are, you're different now. I just feel like you're different now. And to get closer to your future spouse, you want to connect back with your roots, your family, the things that were comfortable. I just keep getting like, and maybe you meet them. I mean, I don't know if you maybe have met them recently. Maybe you've met someone at a party or something, a recent family gathering or a friend gathering from someone you were close with when you were little. But I do get this, like, I do get a Christmas time vibe here with these lights. Could be any time, but with the fireplace and the lights, I do kind of get a Christmas time meeting. So if you haven't met this winter, or if you don't meet this winter, it may be like next winter or a winter is when you guys are meeting. And you're just like and if you're not really in a good place with your family, I do get the energy that you're meeting when you're in a decent place with your family. I mean, if you're not a really good place, at least a decent place. And you guys will connect because you're just going to be feeling a lot calmer. Like if your family stresses you out, getting close to before you meet your future spouse, yeah, I hear they just won't be, it won't be stressing you out. Your family won't be stressing you out that much. I mean, maybe small little things, but nothing major that makes you feel like you have to rethink your entire life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Is there anything else I'm seeing? No, this just idea of really connecting back to your past or who you, people from your childhood or from your young days is really coming in as how to get closer to your future spouse. So I don't know, maybe someone has a new job. I do get something like someone has a job that works with them or something like they're already in the circle of your connection. You just may not be aware of them yet. Or maybe you are, and this is someone you're aware of, but you just haven't seen in a while. I'm not sure. It could be a lot of things, but I just do, to get closer to your future spouse, you'll want to connect with people that maybe you've stepped away from to take care of yourself. If you're in a good position now. If you're not in a good position yet, because I was just getting the energy of someone who's like grown, they've traveled, they've gone on their own, then this is kind of the journey to get to your future spouse. I feel like you'll have to like go away, heal, do some stuff, and then you'll kind of connect to them through that way. Okay, but that is all I'm seeing for you, Pile 4. If this resonated, please comment down below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, feel free to describe what I'm talking about here. If you know, like, your family, or I don't know, maybe you've been invited to something recently, or recently someone's gotten pregnant. I feel like that's a thing, or someone's recently given birth to a baby, because it feels like they're in that vicinity. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.